Hi, my name is Michelle. I have a 12-year-old son with nonverbal learning disorder, and I'm here today to answer a few questions. So, the first question is, when did I first suspect something was different about my child? We really didn't think there was anything that different about our son until probably around grade 3. Up until that time, we knew he was stubborn, but so are both of his parents. He had a lot of energy. We didn't see a problem with that. And he liked to be first a lot. um, how old was our child when he was first diagnosed with nonverbal learning disorder? And how did I feel as a parent? Our son was diagnosed when he was 9 years old. As a parent, I was relieved. At that time, we knew something else was going on, and we just really wanted to know how to help our son. And with him being diagnosed, at least we kind of had a place where we could start. And it answered some of the questions that we had. So yeah, we were relieved, and we were, happy that we knew that that there was stuff that we could do. Was there ever a misdiagnosis? Yes. Some professionals wanted to diagnose him with ADHD or oppositional defiant disorder. I'm not sure if I got that one right, but it was something like that. But we'd read up on these other diagnoses, and we just really never felt it fit our son. What type of accommodations around the house did we have to make? There wasn't a lot of changes we had to make because of the diagnosis. I think there's a lot of things in our house structured around Grant, just unknowingly, that, we knew he liked to read in a certain area, or that he liked to make forts, in his closet, and that, he really liked structure all the time. Like, there was a process, for everything from getting ready in the morning to, what you do at dinner. And he just liked things to be the same. And I think, we just unknowingly, shifted to that. And, it was fine. And it was just something we did. Did you get other members of the family to understand NLD? If yes, how so? If no, why not? Yes, we did get other family members to understand nonverbal learning disorder. A lot of them were open to reading books. We had conversations with them. They asked questions. Some family members don't really understand because they're not around us a lot. And, maybe it's only at family gatherings, and it's hard for them to understand that some of our son's challenges, because when we're together as a family, it's fun, it's relaxed, everyone enjoys each other. It's a really good environment to be in. What educational accommodations were made? What was your experience with that? We've had to go so far as to have a separate classroom for just our son, and not just a room, but, a full classroom that had, an exercise bike, mini trampolines, 2 walls of chalkboards, the ability to have a TV brought in, a tent, so he could go in to feel secure, and actually having them take him out of the school and learn on a very hands-on way. Like there's one unit, it was on like marshlands and swamps and stuff, and he learned about that by not just being in the classroom and that being taught to him, but he went on several outings to different marshes, and to learn about that. Now we're trying to integrate him back into a classroom. He's, we're doing quite well with that. He's attending half a day, and, he will go in the classroom, and, he will do work. He still has several challenges with, stimulation and social cues, but he's making really good progress, and we're hopeful by the end of the year, but that he will be in school full time again. But he's been working really hard at that, and our experience with that has been extremely tiring. We've had to talk to so many people, but to get the necessary things that our son needs. But the school that he's in now is very accommodating. But it does take a lot of effort, and it does take a lot of communication, and yes, it can be really tiring. How do you help your child understand their nonverbal learning disorder? Well, with Grant, it came naturally. We at the time of his diagnosis, we were seeing quite a few doctors. He was doing quite a bit of testing, and he had questions of why he had to do this, and we were really upfront about what we were doing and why, and we assured him that we'd keep him informed. And we've done that. We were fortunate the doctors that had diagnosed him, had really comprehensive reports, and we're able to tell him, we know why he has, challenges with understanding that he doesn't always understand, when kids are joking or when they're being mean, and that visually it is a challenge for him. But we're also able to tell him too that he has some pretty incredible talents as well. Like, his memory is phenomenal. He's extremely kind. He learns things by hearing them very quickly. And also through Facebook, I belong to a couple different Facebook pages that are very informative. They have members who have nonverbal learning disorder, from teenagers to people in their 20s, 40s, 60s, and I feel very comfortable asking questions, and I like passing that on to my son, and he finds that very comforting to know that there's other people like him with the challenges he has, and it's very motivating for him, to know that some of these challenges, like other people have overcome these challenges, and they lead successful lives, and all this work that he's doing leads to something. So I like to keep him informed, and so it answers questions he has as well. And we're always open to any questions he has. And if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer. What advice would you give to parents about dealing with nonverbal learning disorder? Well, first of all, when dealing with nonverbal learning disorder, love your child for who they are. Read books, reach out to other parents. In my area, there's no other parents with nonverbal learning disorder. So I've joined a different type of parent support group, and I just find it very important. It helps me keep perspective, and say there's a bad day, and it's nice to be able to talk to other parents that have challenges as well. You don't feel so alone or isolated. I think it's extremely important to advocate for your child, because they're children. They need someone to stand up for them. And, always give them hope. And, just because they're having a bad day, it doesn't mean tomorrow has to be a bad day as well. And, as a parent, sometimes it's really tough. But I always have to remember, no matter how hard it is for me, it's harder for my son.